return to Isla Sorna. In the previous episode, we saw the construction of Dr. Henry Wu's research compound and the creation of two dinosaur species, the Parasaurolophus and the Corythosaurus. In today's episode, we will see Dr. Henry Wu continue expanding the dinosaur species out on Isla Sorna. But first, Dr. Henry Wu wanted to introduce a control species to keep the herbivore population in check. So, the scientists got straight to work on making the first carnivore species on Isla Sorna. It would take them until the dead of the night, but eventually, a new carnivore species would be created. Introducing the Acanthosaurus. The Acanthosaurus is a medium-sized, carnivorous dinosaur species that lived during the mid-Jurassic period. Two females and a male were created and released into the herd of hadrosaurs. The presence of carnivores spooked the Parasaurolophus and the Corythosaurus. Over time, as both populations grow, each species will keep the other in check. As morning begins to dawn on the island, scientists would get to work on their next big project. Dr. Wu wants to simulate a large herd of dinosaurs. The area in front of the research compound is simply too small, so the dinosaur herd would have to be located to the larger plains area of Isla Sorna. Scientists got to work on creating many dinosaur species. The first new species they would introduce would be the Brachiosaurus, another dinosaur that was present on Isla Nublar. Four Brachiosaurus specimens were created, 2 males and 2 females. Once the Brachies were transported, the scientists immediately created a new species of sauropod. This is the Mamenchiasaurus, a distant relative of the Brachiosaurus that lived during the late Jurassic period. A single male and female specimen were created before being transported to the same location as the Brachiosaurus. Scientists continued to introduce one species after another. The next species to be introduced is the Triceratops. However, the species of Trix is noticeably different from their cousins on Isla Nublar. Their horns are straighter, their skin pattern features a greater amount of green. The Triceratops of Isla Sorna are more closely related to their ancient counterparts because their DNA has been refined in the last few years, hence the new design. The next new species to be introduced is another brand new species brought back from extinction. This living tank existed around the late Cretaceous period and is believed to have gone toe-to-toe with the Tyrannosaurus rex. This is the Ankylosaurus, a medium-sized herbivore that evolved armor-like plates around to protect itself. The Ankylosaurus is transported to a small lake, which they will call home. 3 specimens were created, 2 females and 1 male, all of which are visibly identical. Once the Ankylosaurus is transported, the next dinosaur species is released from the Hammond Creation Lab and airlifted to the greater herd. This is the Stegosaurus, another species from Jurassic Park, recreated to fit with Isla Sorna's ecosystem. Not much has changed between the versions from Nublar and the ones on Sorna, except that their skin is now green, just like the Triceratops. With that, the scientists have moved on to the final species that they would introduce into the herd. Once more, a Jurassic Park dinosaur species has been modified to fit within their new habitat. However, this species is much more visually different than their cousins back on Nublar. The Gallimimus have made their return, now in a coat of dark blue. The reason why many species on Isla Sorna look visually different from their cousins on Isla Nublar is due to the absence of tree frog DNA, along with other additives. These dinosaurs are meant to thrive in the wild, whereas the ones on Nublar were meant to be showcased like circus animals. Here on Sorna, the dinosaurs can finally be like their ancient counterparts and simply be animals in an ecosystem.